Okay, let's go and discover something new. This is sort of a preparation for it. Let's say you have a piece of text, right? Let's go and erase it. Let's undo this with the interactive undo. Just so we have a little bit, not a completely black background. It's easier to see where the canvas ends that way. What I want to do is maybe even have it with some sort of a transform 3D perspective and rotate around this way or this way without tiling, and there you go. All right, so we have some sort of text, some sort of fun, maybe you spin it down there and there, and then we want this background color to be also in here. So let's see, we pick up with this thing here, pick up this color that's now the primary color, and the fill tool should take care of it. There you go. Okay, so let's store this image. And at this point, oh god, we are not done yet. We could also add some noise or blur, light diffusion. Where is it? Photographic, maybe. Light diffusion. That would be a little bit of a halo or a glow around that. Maybe we have some. Oh yeah, I know why I went to the blur. That's the mystic vision, right? The mystic vision. We have some mystic vision. That's why we call it that. What it is. And there you go. Maybe too intense. Again, interactive undo. Yada yada. All right. So let's say we want to do something like this, but we want to actually show the text as an animation appearing gradually as we're typing. When we pretend or we're typing, this is a test of the emergency low-cost system. This is only a test. Had this been a real emergency, you'd be hopping away like a grasshopper. Yeah, you got it. Okay, so we want to see this text, but we want to see it appearing gradually, meaning at first you see just a letter T and an H and I, S, and so on. And maybe in nice regular intervals, or maybe even a little bit randomized. So let's see how to do that. There is a new filter here under filter animated category, terminal text typer. So here we go. And you got a little view here. So this is a test of the emergency broadcast, or let's say low cost system, or bloatcast. I don't know. What does it sound like? Bloatcast system. Okay, let's do a simple test with just that. And we want to choose the color. We want to choose the font. Color is the primary color, which is almost black right now. Let's say we use a font that will be kind of interesting to see here. Oh, I don't know what to use here. Let's see if we can also make it bold. Yep, that works. Something like this. All right, so we have this. And we want to show the cursor that will be appearing as we type, and we can change the cursor here, I believe. Let's see if we type, yep, dash or underscore. So we would essentially have an underscore right after that letter. The first is the letter T, then is H, and so on, and we would see an underscore going with that ahead of it. Random time, so that means that there's a little bit delay between the characters. And right now they are just point, I don't know, is that a tenth of a second? Maybe not. It's whatever it is. It's fairly close together, and you can space it a little bit more, right? So you can say, okay, you want a little bit more time. Plus, you don't want it to be always the same, because a real human isn't typing at a constant, exact same speed. So you'll have a little bit of a random time option here, and that's it. Let's go. Boom. And now we need 105 frames. It counted how many characters we have here. And to fit it all in, we need 105 frames. So it builds an animation. Okay, I have down here actually my animation. I guess I could switch it up, but it's still producing it right now. So I'm going to wait until it's all done. And you can see how it's building it up here now. Or so it seems. I don't know actually what it's doing. It might be a little bit iffy, glitchy. No, it's good. It's good. So now you can see as I'm scrubbing through that. Let me put this up. I'm more used to seeing it at the top. There you go. So as you scrub through that, you see the whole text appearing. Now, at the very end, maybe you want to have that sentence hold there for a little bit, right? So you go to the last frame, like this one here, even more further. Where is it? There, last frame. You right click, you copy that frame, and then right click and insert it. And then you have two that are identical, and you can go to the selection, select them both, and now instead of a single frame, you copy there, copy the block, and right click and insert. And you can do this a few times on any of those since they are identical. Doesn't matter which one you insert for or with or in front of. But you can also gain some time if you make that selection, that block a little bit bigger, copy that again, copy block, and insert. So pretty soon you have, I don't know, another 20 or 30 frames, and that will make it last about a second or two. Let's see, insert, something like that. Okay, so we have 160 frames now. Actually, a little bit more. All the way to the end, we shall go and we have 166. That's frame number 166, so we have a total of 167 frames. And we play that right here. And so now you see it. And so it looks like it's typing. We're typing, but not always at the same speed because because we added the extra randomness to it. And let's say this could be a message, like in Alien when they say, "Warning, it's not a call for help." Or they decipher it, and eventually they realize it's a warning. But so you could have a broadcast, or you could have something like that in your sci-fi movie, and there it is. Or maybe the computer wakes up and starts talking to you. Right? Who knows what AI has in store for us next? So let's say we want to have this also, first of all, stored, right? So let's go here to store animation to disk. And hopefully you have an SSD drive. It'll be super fast. Let's go minimize this. And so another thing you might want to do is actually move it all to be a little bit more centered, or maybe down at the bottom, right? So I'm going to go to Filter, Transform, Shift, right? And then that way you just shift it down here. I don't know, maybe something like this. And you apply that to the entire animation. So click on Annie, and it will apply that shift transform to the entire sequence of images. So now you have this animation down here. Now let's say you want this at dark night, so invert the animation. But before we do that, let's make sure we grab another copy to disk, and then invert the animation. No, so invert the colors, the images. So now it's black. It's going to be text is white on black. There you go. Now let's say we want to have a little bit of glow. We could, there's a couple of things you can make it even fatter text looking, like the convolution Sobel edge detect. It's a black and white. You don't need to do the colored one, but you could. And that would work if you have a colored version here. So that takes a little while. Let's give it some time. Well deserved. And after a while, you might actually, instead of doing it this way, you might just choose a font that's a little bit more the boldface and bigger or whatnot. Um, and so let's say we have this, it's still going through. Okay, now it's done. And we can go to another thing, which is maybe change the color, adjust color. And it's white right now. Black is black, but there's some white colors. And if I reduce the red, it will leave it with some cyan, maybe a little bit less on the green, so a little bit more bluish. There you go. Animation, again, apply that over the entire animation. And what else could we possibly want here? A little bit of glow, right? So let's make it look like we have some light diffusion. Soft contrast improvement might help too. Light diffusion probably better. Give it some some radius, and then some gain. And you can see now here, let's zoom in on that a little bit. Let's go, oh, we're already in it. So yeah, can't really do that now. We would have to zoom in first, and then we can go into the light diffusion. But if you look around here, you can see there's a little bit of an expansion of light glow. You can increase, you can set combine mode to screen, maybe that will help, or to, what did I add? That will probably be pretty intense. Tone map, I don't know. There's a couple of ways to make it a little bit better. level. Anyway, should be good enough anyway. So I'm going to go and animate that. Again, apply the filter across the entire frame sequence. And, ooh, that one is on the slow side. So let's just be a little bit patient. I might adjust it on the, yeah, not, not my favorite. I thought it was faster than that. Last time I did, maybe I changed the parameters. But anyway, so here we are. We're creating some text that maybe we want to also see at a different angle, right? Remember the one at the very beginning? Well, we'll just use the transform and or the 3D perspective, or put it into Poppy Ray, or put it into 3D Designer. There's several tools that can do the rendering for us, and some of it will be done just by itself. Some of it you might want to composite or erase or do some other things with it. You might, for example, make this sort of a ring around a planet orbiting around it. Right? Let's see if we could figure out how to do that. So here is the text, almost done. There's a few more blank. We see right now here in the upper right, it's working on the final frame sequence. Okay. And so we have something weird. There's one bright frame here every once in a while. Okay, we don't need this thing on the end here. We could, oh, and there's one on the end. That's part of the glow that we applied, and I guess an edge condition. So one thing we could do is crop it and erase, select and erase it to black. That might be a way to do it. So if we take a look at the swap image, it's all white. Let's go erase it to black, and then go here. So assuming this is also black, it might not, right? So if you want to erase it to that, you can copy it from the swap image. That's why I erased this to black. So now I can select, I don't want to erase the text to black. I just want this bottom part and this right thing on the right side. So I'm going to use the rectangle selection and select this. And then with the shift click, select this as well. So now these parts are selected, and I can simply copy from the filter command here, combine with swap, mix it with the swap, and simply copy it over from the swap. But if I don't, it's from the main image. If I do, it's from the swap image. And animate that so it's doing that across the entire frame sequence. Now the ones here are animation, showing the progression, but it's not being affected by the copy. Only what's inside the selection is being affected by it. All right, so now we can clear the selection, and we should now, maybe one thing I'll do is, no, that's fine. We can just keep it like that. And then simply play the animation. So yeah, now we don't see the white edge that we used to have here. All right, so now we're ready to do our final trick, which is to rotate it around, or to move it around, or give it a perspective angle. One technique. Let me first store this. If I run out of disk space or crash or whatever, power outage, I want to make sure I don't lose this completely. So I'm going to first show an example where I'm just looking at it at a little bit of an angle. So filter, transform 3D perspective, and remember we have the rotation one axis, and maybe I need to shift it up a little bit. So that's too much. There you go. And I don't want to repeat it or tile it. So we have the text. Now we need to add it a little bit. We want to see the text even once it's all the way to the very last word. We don't want to clip it off on the side here. So you want to give it the right amount of offset. There you go. And there you go. Apply that same offset, that same shift to the entire sequence. Now, if you wanted the sequence to be different over time, you can do that with the keyframer. Right? So here we actually have the final view is good. The text here is barely visible though, and it starts that way. So we might actually want to do something whereby we have it initially closer and then gradually move it to the back.